Hello, good evening. It's time to another video, right? Let's study English grammar, the wonderful world of English grammar. There are many things that we need to study, and this lesson or this studying time we're going to have, we will see a very interesting verb that we have already covered during previous lessons, but we didn't have a topic specific for it. So let's get going. Okay, you guys remember that we studied the verb will. Remember? We studied will, we studied can, we studied could, we studied may, must, might. And these verbs, they have in common something very interesting, that they make questions without auxiliary verb. You can use them in the negative, right? And so forth. So it doesn't need an auxiliary verb to make any questions or negative answers with each of these verbs. Now, we will see another verb that we studied before, but we didn't give emphasis enough. It's the verb would, okay? Would. Would, and the negative form is wouldn't. What's the meaning of this verb? When we think, imagine a situation which is not real, right? To imagine a situation or action, right, which is not real, something that would happen. Let's see. For example, it would be nice if I traveled to Japan. I imagine the situation of me traveling to Japan. It would be nice, yes. I would like to travel, right? Something that you would like to do. It would be nice, but this is not happening because Japan is too far. I guess I couldn't stand staying in an airplane for almost 24 hours. Jesus Christ, it's horrible. I can't think of the idea, but it would be nice if there was a way of me teleporting to Japan without the harassment of going to the airplane and stuff. Maybe I would travel. So it's I'm imagining a situation here, okay? She wouldn't do any harm if she was released. There is a woman who is in prison, and she was arrested some time ago, but the judge believes that she wouldn't do any harm if she was released. So the decision he took is, let's release her into society because she's not any danger. She doesn't pose any danger to the society, so she wouldn't do any harm. It's a situation that is not happening yet, but we are imagining, right? I'd love to have a jet ski. I'd love to have a jet ski. I'm imagining a situation. I'd here is I would. Okay, so you can use would to talk about situations and actions that can happen in the future or in the present. But we can also use would to talk about situations that didn't happen in the past. For example, she would have come if she knew you were here. Okay? She would have come. What can we imply from this sentence? Well, she didn't come. That's the first thing we can imply. She didn't come. But if she knew you were here, she would have come. Right? So it's not possible to her anymore to come because this action took place in the past. If you draw the timeline here, you realize that she didn't come. But there is a condition. If she knew you were here, she would have come. Okay, so it's very common to use this verb tense to imagine something, how things could have been different if something else happened, okay? Let's see another example. She wouldn't have complained about it if we didn't give her the news. Okay, there were some news that we didn't want to tell a friend of ours because maybe she wouldn't like it. She would be annoyed, actually. She would be bothered and maybe angry. But we told her anyway, right? We told her, we gave her the news. This action happened and she complained. But if we didn't give her the news, maybe she wouldn't have complained. Okay? It's another comparison that we have here. Let me see here. There is something, I guess it's a little wrong here. I'm making a little mistake. I will explain. Can you see where the mistake is here? I guess there is a mistake here as well. Let me see. Yeah. I guess there is a mistake here as well. I know. Yeah. Let's pay attention to something. When you say something using if, the if clause, let's remember something. It's good that we made a slight mistake here, that we have the opportunity to correct and explain another topic in English. When we have the if clause, for example, if I help you, you will be happy. Okay, if the if clause part, if it's in the present, the next part, the other sentence will be in the future. Okay, if I say, if she knew, she would come, or she could come, right? When we have simple past here, the past tense, if she knew, she would come. She could come. You use the second part in such verb tenses. Just to give you an example. But when you use if I had known that I wouldn't have told her. If I had known that, I wouldn't have told her. So when you have the if part of the sentence with the past perfect, and you know the past perfect, the verb known is know, the simple present, knew, known. So I have to make a correction here, right? Because the next sentence, when you have the past perfect, you use could have told her. You use the present perfect together with another modal verb such as could, would, and so forth. So let's go back to the sentence. She wouldn't have complained about it if we hadn't given her the news. That's the correct thing. Because remember, the past perfect is used in which situation? We have studied that the past perfect is used when we have two actions in the past. The first action is the past perfect, and the second one is not the past perfect. So she wouldn't have complained about it. It's something that happened later, and the first one was hadn't given her. And the same idea we have here. If she had known you were here, she would have come. To use knew, the sentence would be different. She would come here if you. She would come here if she knew you were here. So I use or she would come here, or she could come here. We use she could come here if she knew. So the simple past in the if clause, the other sentence comes with would, could, or might, right? Any other modal verb. Okay. So, given these parentheses that we have talked about, remember that we use the would have done something to talk about actions in the past, would have done. To imagine situations that could have happened in the past, but the action actually didn't happen, right? She wouldn't have complained, but if we hadn't given her the news, what happened in the past? We gave her the news, and then she complained about it, okay? So that's it. We tell the news here, which is the action in the past perfect, and she wouldn't have complained. This another action, wouldn't have complained, is the second one in the timeline. But this complaint of her is just an imagination because she complained. We are imagining a situation in which she wouldn't have complained. Right? She wouldn't have been bothered by it, okay? All right, so that's it. it's important to remind you that even if sometimes we make small mistakes during the recording, but I corrected the mistakes in the same recording, because there is an insight that comes, and when I saw the if clause here, I was bothered because I knew something was weird, okay? And when I studied the if clause, I had it very clear in my mind. I memorized the rules. And that's it. The next video, we will continue studying this verb tense, would have done something.